something like it. Introducing the Apollo-winning R&B music of Big Brooklyn Red and the intense cinematic creations of filmmaker Jordan Schachter. Then, the amazing, blazing Tyler Fyre burns up the screen with his sideshow atrocities. But first, photographer Kaye Klein will share her body memory images. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show!
Hi, my name is Kaye Klein, and I'm a photographer. And a lot of the work I am currently pursuing is in black and white photography, fine art photography, on images of the body. This body memory image was about looking at the play of light and shadows over the terrain of the body and places that we're used to looking at, but yet seeing in a different way and a more close-up, intimate way. I got involved with making art early on in life. My uncle was an artist. He was a painter. By the time I was 5 years old, I was sketching nudes in his studio, pursuing painting. I would almost have to say it's not that I got involved in art as much as it just was always there. It's almost like it was something I had to do as, natural as brushing my hair or breathing. And one thing that really intrigued me about this particular image is it just has such a mountainous feel to me. And also this is actually not the way it was shot. And I think that's one thing that I'm always finding is very fascinating is just the way you choose, your point of view that you choose to look at each image tells you a different story. What inspires me to make art is an interesting question in that I'd have to say everything, and I can't really pinpoint anything specific, except that it's almost as if it's a way of seeing all of its own. I think for me, what is probably one of the biggest factors and why I do the kind of photography I do is the light, always watching the play of light over leaves, behind trees, around people's faces, and how it either sculpts or flattens something. And I find that's always changing and challenging to try to reproduce what you're seeing from the way the light and paint with the light. This particular piece I find is probably the most confusing for me because, for one, I never know which way it looks best and I'm always moving it. It seems to just speak to me different every time I look at it. I like that when your own art is kind of always informing you. My idea of success is when you find that space in yourself where you feel rewarded by your daily life. I don't think that it has a monetary value. I don't think that it has a value from public attention. Granted, all of us like those things. We all like our comforts, but I think it's when you feel serenity, not just a fulfillment, but a serenity and always a joy about what you're going to do. Kind of like when you have horses and you have to shovel the barn. It doesn't matter. You want to have the horse. And I think that's success. This image from the Dignity series is just an exploration of light and shadows, just to create another puzzling image for the audience to try to figure out. People sometimes are a bit aghast at some of the images, the frankness of them, or what is the trompe-l'oeil, where it fools the eye, it impacts them, and they think they're seeing one thing when it's really quite the opposite from what they are seeing, or maybe much more benign than what they perceive it to be. So I guess there's always a fascination that fascinates me, and I don't know, I suppose few of us artists would really admit that we just don't have a clue why anybody likes this stuff, but it's nice. It's very nice when it's supported and and nurtured when it comes out of that really, deep part of yourself, and people do recognize that. This one really intrigued me because I really couldn't remember exactly where I was positioned when I was shooting it, and I think that's one of the best things I've found in the whole experience of doing this is the way these models totally trust, these people that come and work with me totally trust me just to kind of climb all over them to create these visuals. If you'd like to see more of my images, you can go to www.skayklein.com and check some out.
I am the amazing, blazing Tyler Fyre, and welcome to Casa Fyre, our humble home here. I work in the traveling circus sideshow world. I get to perform between 800 and 900 shows each and every year. I eat fire, I swallow swords, I hang suspended by my feet, dangling by a narrow thread, tied up tight in a straitjacket. I pound nails into my head. I risk my life for your entertainment, edification, and amusement. Sword swallowing is unquestionably the pinnacle of all the sideshow working acts. So it did in fact take me years of practice and a little bit of throwing up in the sink at home. However, after overcoming all that, it's gotten a whole lot easier. This one here is actually the longest sword I swallow. This one's 27.5 inches of cold hard steel. The body is not made in straight lines. So much goes into learning sword swallowing. It takes sword swallowers years to perfect the art of being able to successfully and only semi-safely swallow a sword down the hatch without a scratch. I've always loved the circus since I was a kid. I remember the first time I went to see a big top circus. It was at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia in 1982 when I saw the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, Greatest Show on Earth. And like any kid seeing the circus, it was an overwhelming and magical experience. But for me, coming from rural Georgia, it was that much bigger and that much more exciting. Already being in the big city and then seeing elephants and tigers and trapeze girls and tightrope walkers and girls hanging from their hair. You know, it's a truly magical and splendorous land that it sucks you into for those 2 hours. And I never quite shook that. The Human Blockhead is one of the classic sideshow acts. It goes all the way back to an Indian fakir act, an Indian torture stunt, where guys would stick skewers through their skin and pound nails into the center of their head. But where it really changed form to being an American sideshow act was with Melvin Burkhart. Melvin Burkhart was an amazing sideshow performer who traveled with the best of all circus sideshows. And in the 1930s, he was performing his act where he pounded a nail into his head when a man named Robert Ripley, of Ripley's Believe It or Not, walked into the audience and said, "Melvin, you're a human blockhead." The name stuck, and for the last 70 years, many people have done the human blockhead. But my personal claim to it is performing the world's first and only double human blockhead with my partner Magic Brian, in which we perform a choreographed double blockhead act together, which culminates in pyrotechnics shooting out of the center of our head and partner acrobatics. Now that's a great example of taking an original twist on an old-timey classic act. We never have invented the blockhead act. It was generations before either of us were born. It's a dynamite act. You don't want to leave it out of any show if you're able to do it. But what can you do to make it truly original and spectacular? And one of the things that makes me the happiest is the act that really made it all happen for me is the fire eating act. It's the act I've been doing for the longest. It's the act that really broke me into the business, and it's how I got my name, Tyler Fyre. I was working in an amusement park One day, the sign painter came to airbrush all the water slides and touch up all the stuff. And the boss said, I was brand new, I was young, I had just come into the business. The boss pulled me aside and said, kid, you ought to have a sign for your show. The sign painter's here, he'll paint you a sign. I think, great, this is really exciting. The sign, I'm gonna have my own sign for my own show. You know, this is big time. He goes, all right, what do you want it to say? And I say, and it's right then. He's gonna paint me a sign right then. There's no time to think about it. And I say, the amazing blazing Tyler Fyre. But spell it with a Y, so it matches the Y in my first name. And that was it. They painted me that sign, which I still have hanging up on the garage wall at my dad's house. He painted me that sign, and I've had that name ever since. Thanks for watching Art or Something Like It. My name is Tyler Fyre, and you are a fabulous audience. If you'd like to see a little bit more or find out where to get some Circus Sideshow for yourself up close, alive, and in person, you're welcome to visit the website, which is tylerfyre.com. That's Fyre with a Y. Thank you, and good night.
Hello, my name is Jordan Schachter. I'm a writer-director. I'm going to be doing my first feature film very shortly. In a couple of weeks we'll start shooting. So it's a very exciting time for me. This is the second big production I'm doing. I've done a lot of short films over the years, but 2 years ago I did a short film on 35mm with a big crew, big production. That was a 10-minute film called Look Across the Street. And the feature film I'm about to start shooting is called The Legacy of Walter Frumm. And for me, to do a feature was always my dream, so it's a very exciting time for me right now. Look Across the Street was a film that I was really excited about. The acting and the directing and the writing and the cinematography, it all really came together. And I'm going to show a couple of clips of that film.
Playing it safe? My point is, it's not safe already. You've got the pain. Crossing may be the only way you get away from it. The bigger risk?
These guys are right.
Staying where you are.
I'm scared.
I told you to watch this.
I don't know. Maybe I should just leave things the way they are.
But stay in that power.
I love this show.
But I'm not happy.
I told you not to see this guy.
It's nothing. Let's just go. Please, just take me back to the hotel.
Not till I talk to this guy.
I don't want you to start anything with him.
Look, I told you on the phone. I don't want you to see her no more.
Take it easy, Frank.
Let's just leave.
You're not such a young guy anymore.
You've been warned.
I got a really awesome cinematographer on this film, Igor Martinovic. He does a lot of very subtle lighting, a lot of use of fluorescence, and this garage itself was a great location too. I mean, they say, you know, casting is a huge part of filmmaking, and I'm going through that right now with the film I'm doing. But also location scouting. I mean, this location, when I was there and saw it and photographed it, looked at the photos, I mean, already built in, it was beautiful. But Igor really took a lot and added to it and created a great atmosphere. I create pieces that are very heavy in dialogue, but creating moments of kind of surrealistic quality for me is a lot of fun to do. I think in some ways there's been a lot written about how film is kind of dreamlike, and you know, playing with that and messing with reality and the use of voiceover, which some writers say is a no-no. But I think sometimes you can create some really interesting things using surrealistic imagery and voiceover. So the clip I'm going to show happens a little midpoint, a little towards the end of the piece, right after a character has died. The camera kind of goes up into the sky, and there's a voiceover, which is this motivational speaker talking, and it sort of bridges from a climactic moment into a more traditional scene. And creating bridges is really challenging, but if you do it right, for an audience, it's really gratifying. And so I like to do those.
Animal, hold your head high, stand tall, your eyes alert, your mind sharp. Move like you're in command, and you will be in command. Setbacks are normal. That's just how life is. The question is, how are you going to deal with them? It's all about the patterns we create in our lives. First, you see the patterns, then you can break them. You can do this for other people too. You can see others' patterns, and then you have a choice. Allow the patterns to continue, or help people to break them.
If you are very self-critical, which I was when I first started writing, I would write the first 30 minutes of a screenplay, and then I couldn't finish it because I would be saying, well, this is not good enough, or I've seen films like this before, or I know where this is going. And it's funny because you watch films, you know, if you're a filmmaker and you watch films, sometimes in the first 5 minutes, you know where the whole story is going. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, but those few times where you're actually surprised, where the filmmaker's ahead of you and you're not ahead of the filmmaker, to me, that's great. And, you know, a lot of commercial films and a lot of films that people love, they're like the McDonald's of film. You know what you're going to get. You walk in the door, you know what you're going to get. And, you know, is that a success to make a big Hollywood film where you're painting by numbers? I don't know. Maybe that's one measure of success, you know, but for me, success is by creating good work. And, you know, if that's with a low budget and that's seen by a small audience, that can be considered a success. A big film seen by a big audience, but it's, you know, painting by numbers, and or you've had to compromise so many times that you didn't get what you wanted. I don't know if I could call that success. You know, people might call you a success, but do you call yourself a success? You are the only person who can say whether you're a success or not. Staying true to your vision, creating original quality work, keeping your integrity, that's success. Thanks for watching. I hope this was instructive and useful. If you want to visit my website, it's www.machineborn, that's the word machine, and then BORN.com. And feel free to email me, especially if you're a distributor or a producer looking to fund a very expensive film. No, just kidding. Thank you. Good night. Good day. Whatever day it is. Thank you.
I'm Big Brooklyn Red, and I'm a singer, and a songwriter, and an improvisationalist, or a freestyle creator on the spot. I need people to understand that being a singer, being somebody who is able to express himself that way is carrying something that's a very important gift, and it's something that has to be shared with the world.
Oh, it's just the trouble of you loving me and me loving you. Only time will tell.
But I think soul is, and the idea of soul is the essence to all good music. So I call myself a soul singer, whether I'm doing house music, whether I'm doing straight ahead R&B, jazz, blues, whatever flavor I go into with it, it all comes from the same place. So, and I adapt to whatever the style is organically. I'm doing some electronic music. I'm bringing soul to that. I'm not, you know, that's where I'm coming from. I think for a long time the music industry has been selling something before they have it. Me, I do, and then we sell it. You know what I mean? I do what I can do, and then we put it in the package. You don't, because if you start in a box, you're only going to end up, even if you fill up that box, you're only going to end up with that box. I mean, I'm trying to do something a lot more organic than that. key to what I do is the improvisational portion of it. I go on stage, I take a phrase from the audience and build a song around it in front of their eyes or in front of their ears. And that kind of stemmed from a certain amount of necessity, being able to sing on the spot, because when you're starting out, you don't have money to pay a band, you know, you're relying on people to do you favors, which is kind of a dangerous thing, you know. And you end up working with people who are just there to jam. And they're jamming musically, and I'm jamming, you know, with lyrics as well as melody. So it sort of took its time to develop, and now it's I think the thing that really pulls people in. I did the Showtime at the Apollo. I did the world famous amateur night at Showtime at the Apollo, which was a really great experience. Just touching the log, you know, of the Tree of Hope, you feel all the spirits who have been there already, people who have graced that stage. It's an intimate setting. It looks really huge on TV, but it's a very intimate setting for the amount of people that there are there. And that's given me a big boost. Thanks for watching. I'm Big Brooklyn Red. If you want to find out more about me, know where I'm playing, see some clips of me doing my thing, check out my website, www.bigbrooklinred.com.
Thanks to all the artists and all the people that made this show possible. Special thanks to New York City for providing a breeding ground of creativity.
It's art, or something like it's art, or something like it.
This is Art or Something Like It, presenting a gallery of amazing artists each and every week, and more integrity than he can shake a stick at. For more information about the show, or any of the artists on the show, please visit artorsomethinglikeit.com. Next time you experience something new and you don't know what to make of it, you should ask yourself, is it art or something like it? Thank you. Good night.
I'm art or something like it. I'm art or something like it. I'm art or something like it. I'm art or something like it.